Hey, what's up guys, it's me again and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with a new story. The name of the story is What If Shinigami Saved Naruto, who was betrayed by Konoha. And yeah guys, it is an unscripted story and my own idea. Now before continuing this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and follow me on my Polo Uchiha channel as well. And without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins on October 9th in Konoha Gakure no Sato. As we go towards the said village to see that it was in shambles. Flame rose from each and every corner of the village. The screams of women could be heard throughout it. As on the front lines were the shinobis of Konoha, fighting for its safety. Under the leadership and guidance of the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi. Waiting for only one person alone. Minato Namikaze, their fourth Hokage. As a huge shadow loomed over them, and arriving on the battlefield was Minato riding the huge toad from the Toad Summoning clan. It was Gamabunta. He arrived and took out his katana and went to work, leveling the field from the looks of it, but soon he too was being overpowered. "Kid, I can't hold on much longer. Do what you must and fast," yelled out the booming voice of the toad, while on the other side, Minato Namikaze was tinkering with something. Hiruzen, seeing this, was confused as he arrived there. "What are you doing, Minato?" "Trying to protect our home, Hiruzen-sama. I don't have much time and I don't have much of a choice. I'm going to use the Reaper Death Seal." "What?" "Minato, that is a cursed seal. You'll be making a deal with Shinigami. And Shinigami, he doesn't like his contracts being broken. Especially such as these." "They won't be. I'll make sure of that." "You are my security." "What? What do you mean by that?" "Obviously, the exchange will be my soul, so you will be left to watch over my son." "What about Kushina?" "She's dead. After giving birth to the child and having the biju extracted, it was too much toll on her body." "Damn it. I'm sorry, Hiruzen-sama, but this is the only way." "Alright. Damn it, I should have learned that seal. Now's not the time to regret. Our men and people need you." And so, after doing the hand seals, the Shinigami appeared. And Minato, he made the deal. As his body slumped down to the ground, and Hiruzen watched in stunned silence as the Shinigami, using its katana, did a rip in the reality itself, grabbing with it one hand the biju and placing the other on top of the seal of the child, as the child became the new Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Yoko. "Protect my son," were the only three words that Minato uttered to Hiruzen. And Hiruzen did not knew how much weight and value they hold it. "I will," he said, as now we see there was a huge amount of stunned silence everywhere. The flickers of flames were the only sound that could be heard. The Kyuubi had vanished. There was halt of silence, deafening silence everywhere. "It's done. We are safe. Minato Namikaze, our fourth Hokage, he saved us all in exchange for his soul. Shinigami has saved us." And the people cheered, but Hiruzen stopped them, because there are people needed of their rescue and their help. So the shinobis who were fighting now sent to work, while Hiruzen, he went and picked up the child. "Alright, little one, it's time to get you somewhere safe." As Hiruzen brought him to the Hokage Tower. After a few hours, one of the elders arrived. It was Koharu. "Hiruzen, I should have known that you would be here. I presume that you heard about the demise of Minato. The whole council is aware, but they just want to confirm." "Who is the child?" "He is, Minato's and Kushina's." "Of course. I should have known." "Look, Koharu, can we keep quiet about this?" "Alright. But if the council asks for a question, you must answer, Hiruzen. I presume that you don't have forgotten about the rules and ethics of the council. No. Good. We'll be seeing in a short while, Hokage-sama, asked Koharu. Yes. And so, hearing that, Koharu turned, closing the door. Kakashi. As an Anbu, a young one arrived. Hi. Watch over him. With my life, Hokage-sama. With my life. And so, Kakashi held on to Naruto like he was a lifeline, while Hiruzen, as the acting Kage, then went into the action and arrived at the battlefield in its own right, the battlefield of politics, the council chamber. As he was seated, everyone was quiet for a moment, until Hiruzen spoke. This meeting is in session. As Danzo was the first one to stood up, I would like to ask for a moment of silence for all those who have fallen, alongside with our Hokage Minato Namikaze himself. As after the silence was broken, Danzo began to ask questions. How did this happen, Hiruzen? I'm unfortunately not aware. As like you all, I was resting. But from what Minato has told me, what little, there was an attack. Someone talked. Said Danzo. Yes. From the looks of it, someone did. And what happened afterwards? We saw a Sharingan. I am telling you, Danzo, said Fugaku Uchiha as he stood up, slamming his hands on the table from the clan side as Danzo was going towards there. My clansmen were busy dealing with the people, protecting them, and even fighting on the front lines. We had nothing to do with this, but the Sharingan, as I was saying before, interrupted by Uchiha-san, was seen in the eyes of Kyuubi. It was under a genjutsu as it was attacking us, so it is an obvious statement that it was an Uchiha who has done it. And I am telling you that my men, my people, haven't done so. Uchihas have a history, Lord Fugaku, of betraying. Said one of the civilians. Pardon? Said Fugaku, getting enraged. I am telling you, I will cooperate with Konoha's council if they stop putting the blame on what has transpired on me. Someone has talked, yes, but it doesn't mean that if a Sharingan is saying that it is an Uchiha. So you're saying that a Sharingan pair is missing, yet no records of such are held. Look, I would cooperate with you, I am saying that. But blaming the whole clan for this is just outright outrageous. Fugaku, calm down. We will discuss this later. Right now, the main focus and goal of Konoha should be prioritizing the safety of its civilians and people who are injured, and then the mourning of those who we have lost in rebuilding. Not playing the blame game, but, said Danzo, it is evident that we should know who we are facing and dealing with, our enemy. Because a person out of nowhere arrived and targeted Konoha, a facility that was even secret to most of us, and all we could do was just stare and watch. We have lost many of the great shinobis and konomichis, and even our Hokage. And that reminds me now to the next question. What happened to the Biju? It's obvious that it was a new Jinchuriki that was made by Minato, but who? It was his son. His Kushina's son. Naruto Uzumaki. An infant child? Said one of the civilians. This is not right. There has never been a history of an infant child being a Jinchuriki. In Suna, there has been a record, but the child has went insane. Whenever the child cries or sleeps, a catastrophe happens. The demon of their Shikaku, the One-Tails, it causes rampage and destruction. We can't allow that to happen. If similar situations arises in Konoha, there will be many more deaths to come. Okage-sama, as the murmurs begin to arise, we as the civilians need to surety that nothing of such would happen. No, nothing of such would happen. Shinigami, the god of death itself, has intervened and formed a contract with Minato. Using the Reaper, that's it. That is a forbidden seal, said Danzo. Why would he use that? The Uzumakis used to use that, and even they forbade it. Only 2 incidents have been ever recorded. This one and the one before that an Uzumaki used. The one who created it. Why would he even go to that route? It was the only choice. Using the other seals would have harmed the child. Besides, he made the deal with Shinigami in exchange for his soul, and all we know is from the previous incident, the Shinigami is very much evident of keeping its end of the bargain. As there was a heavy amount of silence. But we have no confidence in the child. An infant child should not have been made into a Jinchuriki. Then who of you all would have offered your child, your son, your daughter to be the Jinchuriki? Only an Uzumaki is capable of holding the Bijou. The Nine-Tail is so strong, and that is why in the history and even now, only Uzumakis are regarded as the Jinchuriki material. I am forbidding you all from stopping into forming these bonds. The child needs it as much as any of your kids needs. If the child is not loyal, he will be at flight risk, and if he is at the flight risk, things could go very south for us. And after that meeting came to an end, everyone was evident to observe the child. But as the child grew, some of the complications happened. He had the whisker marks of the QB on each side of his face, the fox-like grin, and the prankster capabilities of getting back at those who called him out. And because of that, as the child progressed and grew, he became a pariah in his own village. His own peers didn't like him. His own villagers didn't like him. Nobody did. He was alone on his own. Ruzin tried. He tried his best. He kept the child's morale up as best as he could, and tried the best to make sure that the people see that it was just an innocent kid trying to gain their attention in some way or another, because they were ignoring him, making him a pariah. He was an orphan to begin with, and now being turned a pariah, like a ghost that can't be seen. It was a disaster waiting to happen, especially to a Jinchuriki who was a kid, an emotionally unstable one. But Naruto, he kept going. He made a mask of a smiling fool for himself to get the attention, and it was working. As by the time he graduated from the academy and was placed in Team 7, he was happy that he was able to form bonds. He was happy that he was able to make some sort of allies and friends. He was happy just because he mattered now. But that all changed after the Konoha crush attack. His Gigi died. His only anchor who kept him going died. And then came Tsunade Senju, the woman who detested Naruto because she saw Kushina as a daughter who died giving birth to the demonic bastard who lived and breathed each and every second, reminding her of what she has lost. Something similar was stirring within Jiraiya, but he was waiting for the right moment. On the other side, Naruto, like a fool he was, or well, keeping up the face of a fool, was trying his best to make everyone happy because he was getting happy. But that all changed when Sasuke deserted. He was sent alongside a lot of Genins to retrieve him. They all tried, but Sasuke in the end was able to evade. Naruto was wounded badly, but instead of being healed, he was brought back and was now placed in a huge wooden log, tied, his hands tied behind him alongside his waist and legs. As Naruto's vision came to life, "What is going on, Bachan?" As he was slapped across the face. "You damn bastard, you have some nerve calling me that. My Kushi-chan called me that. You killed her. Minato didn't deserve to die. None of you did." And that is when something shocking happened. Danzo and the elder stood up. "What is all going on here? What is this nonsense, Tsunade?" "It is as you see. He has failed the mission, and as the Hokage, I have ordered his punishment as death by burning." "You're insane. Do you not know whose son he is? You spat on his legacy? Do you not know that he is a vital part of Konoha? If he dies, then our defense dies." "I don't care. As the people didn't care. And the funniest thing was, Danzo was the one who always wanted power, but right now he was trying his best to defend Minato's son, whom he always has been against all odds on the other side of. But that is when the fire ignited, as the elders could stare and watch as the people cheered and celebrated while Naruto, being in pain, was closing his eyes, his heart crushed in a million pieces. Is this it? So all of this was a lie. All of this was a lie, like how I built myself to be. I acted like a happy buffoon. And they played me as well, like a fool. Naruto, he did not knew what he deserved to got this. But he, in the end, gave up. He was heartbroken that Konoha has won in breaking him. What they have been trying since he was a child has finally been achieved. At the age of 13, he gave up. As the fire consumed him, he gritted his teeth. He was already in pain, but that is when the time stopped. All for everyone except for Naruto. As the Shinigami arrived there. Who are you? I am the Shinigami. You're here for me, right? No, kid. I have made a deal with your father when I sealed the Nine Tails within you. What deal? As that is when we have a flashback. The same night when Minato sealed and made a deal with the Shinigami. Time slowed again. Not for the others, but for Minato. And within mere seconds, the conversation was held. Shinigami-sama, I want you to seal the Nine Tails within me, within my son, and make sure he is protected by everyone, and everything. And what would I get in exchange? My soul. Alright. That is a fair deal. You are a hero of Konoha. Your soul weighs quite good. Something that I would cherish, Minato Namikaze, as a form of payment. So, sign the contract and name the things that you want. And there Minato placed two things. Sealing of the Kyuubi within his son, and the protection from every harm to his child. Till his death. A natural one at that. As the Shinigami's contract was made, and that is why it was here. Because for the first time, a contract from Shinigami's side was broken, and by the hands of the others. I will be your now protector. You have lived a disastrous life, Naruto. As with a snap of his finger, Minato Namikaze was revived, alongside an additional soul, Kushina Uzumaki. The Nine Tail was freed from Naruto as Naruto stood there, completely healed and shocked. What happened? The Nine Tail have been stripped away from you, and your parents' souls have been revived. I couldn't keep the end of my end of bargain, child, which was to protect you. As Naruto met with his parents and was shocked, and they were informed of everything, and then the time resumed, as the Shinigami stood there. Who are you, and what have you done? Minato, Kushina, how dare you, Tsunade? I thought of you as my mother, and you were going to burn my son alive? But Kushina, he's a... Wait, where are your whisker marks? As Naruto stood there. They're gone. And so is the Kyuubi. As Danzo felt chills run down his spine. No, this isn't right. If Minato is here, then that would mean that... Yes, Danzo, the Kyuubi isn't here. And... because of your all foolishness, the contract has been voided. And behold, the Biju descended upon them again. The Biju is there again, to destroy you all. As the people begin to scream like headless chickens, going left and right. But in the end it didn't matter to Minato, Kushina, and Naruto, who stood there and watched this. While Shinigami then turned, I apologize for this, But as a token of, well, goodwill, I'll make sure that you and those who are suffering like you survive. And the Bijus, after this one is done, are taken from this world. The world doesn't need them anymore. That would be suffice. Good. And so that is what happened. Once the Konoha was in itself destroyed, crushed, some of them watching from afar now, who evacuated, we see the Biju, all of them from 9 tails to 1 were taken, erased, as if they never existed. And once they were taken, the husk also disappeared, crumbling down into dust. The husk of the 10 tails, I mean. As the Shinigami arrived in front of Minato, I apologize again. I hope there is no hard feelings, and it would be best if you don't use that contract again. Because I am not fond of losing my contracts because of my mistake. That rarely ever happens. Thank you again, Shinigami-sama, and I promise I won't. Good. And with that said, the Shinigami left. The whole elemental nation heard the news and was shocked how the Konoha got cursed by Shinigami for breaking its contract, and every one of them vowed that they would never ever get in touch with the god, especially Shinigami. Because if they did, there will be catastrophe. As for Minato, Kushina, who were revived and now with their son, the family of 3 left and started something new into the Neo Uzishio Gakure, a land that they have started as a form of a small village that was slowly growing into a stronger one and forming alliances with others. But one thing was for sure, Konoha, those who have survived, they were the pariah now of the whole world. Nobody wanted them in, not even the minor villages wanted them in, because they thought they were a bad omen who brought the curse of the Shinigami on them. And if they gave asylum to even one of them, there would be catastrophe following them soon. And now they felt the pain that Naruto has felt in his short amount of life, the life that he lived with them. And they regretted each and every second of it, but they knew that no matter how much they tried, there would be no redemption for them, because they had brought this upon themselves. Danzo, Koharu, and Homura have long since passed because of the old age, and because of the heartbreak of their home being destroyed and what they have lost. But there was nothing they could do, because it was the arrogance of the next generation that cost them this much. As for Naruto, he was growing up just fine, living a happy life with his parents. All thanks to Konoha and them fucking up everything. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Apologia channel as well. And yeah, this is kind of an interesting idea because, yeah, if Minato had made Shinigami in a form of a contract, Naruto be protected alongside him being a Jinchuriki, this is a scenario I see myself happening in, especially a betrayed by Konoha kind of scenario. So I wanted to just test it out. Do let me know what you guys think in the comments, as this is it for the day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.